Welcome to the Purposefully Clear podcast. In this podcast, we're going to be telling stories about direct application of tools, processes, systems that lead to validating outputs for students and teachers. Systems change, if you will, through culturally validating pedagogy and leadership. Come along for the clear journey. Excited you're here. Welcome to the Purposefully Clear podcast. 1 of 6 with David Hyerle. That's what you're getting into here. We're going to have 6 different ones with him. Exciting opportunity. We've got a lot of content. Did a webinar with him. And he's been working with us in Fresno, California for the last year and a half as well. So you're going to see a lot of information coming together to help us be purposefully clear and understand the role of cognition in pedagogy.
Off script.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.
Thanks.
It's already rolling.
Well, good.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
it should be.
That's good.
That's the conversation. Hey, first of all, everybody, welcome back to another episode, if you will, of the Purposefully Clear podcast. I can't thank you enough, David. We've been emailing. David Hyerle is our guest tonight. We're going to have a conversation. We've got Jason. This all came together literally in the last 2 hours, which is pretty.
And I love that.
Pretty neat, right?
Yeah.
We're at Jason's dining room table. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, you bet.
Adrian and Hudson. We're literally doing dishes a minute ago.
Yeah.
Mile was running around.
We just got the dog out.
Yeah. Hey, look, the entire idea, David, I know we had dinner a minute ago, behind the Purposefully Clear podcast is to help show what it means through pedagogy and understanding of the world through stories, how to do this in an authentically clear way.
Yeah.
And I know you know what clear is, right?
Yeah.
And Jason will throw a bright spot up again here for you to be able to see the model. We're not going to go into a deeper understanding of it right now because they've had that in the past. But, man, welcome to Minnesota. It is, what's the date, Jason?
26th.
26th
There you go.
of January. We're in the middle of winter, and we're in the middle of ice season.
Yeah.
And we're in the middle of reality. So, thank you. Well, I do.
Well, it's just great to be here. And, I came in from California on a early morning flight. And, I've been following the news, what's been going on. And it's just amazing, just to come here and be closer to it all and know that things are happening that shouldn't be happening. And somehow change will come, but it's a long time coming.
Yeah. Well, you and I have only known each other officially maybe a year and a half or so.
Yeah.
Not that long,
Right.
right? I mean, I've been familiar with your work, a fan of your work for a very long time. A dear friend of ours, Bob,
Yeah.
introduced us and brought you into the work that we are doing in Fresno, right?
Right.
And if you don't know, you better ask somebody because David is like the founding father of cognition and pedagogy, at least in our modern understandings. And
Hey, that's a big claim.
And it is, and it is. And I'll
Yeah.
share some things about my understandings about cognition possibly later. But in our work there, you saw how the idea of a cognitive language, pun intended,
Yeah.
provided a clear pathway to pedagogy. Welcome to Deeper Dive. In this segment, I want to bring in some video that we got from a recent webinar that David did with us. Listen to this content. He's talking about this idea of cognition being a language, and a language that we need to be literate in, and that all humans have in common. So take some time and think about that. It sets up a much better understanding for the rest of the series.
So, Piaget was really saying there are these mental operations we all have, we're born with. It isn't like, we have to, in a sense, influence them directly. They're maturing naturally. And Feuerstein was saying, okay, that's fine. And how do you actually work with a learner so they become self-mediating? So they become the centers of their own thinking and know how to actually improve over time. So that's just background to what I think is really key right now when we talk about student voice and agency. I'm really interested almost in the next level down is student agency around their own thinking. To what degree are they aware of how they think, of the processes that are involved, and sharing those with others? So to me, that's really key and essential. And let me just talk a little bit. I actually, in thinking about this presentation and our interactions, and then we're going to be coming back in a month. I do want it to be through the lens, if you will, of the clear model, and that is before you. We're going to be looking at culture. We're going to be looking at learning that's really based on student, I call efficacy and choice, and the equitable environment and diversity of the different ways in which we all mature and support each other, and then directly into achievement and certainly into how we're responsive with each other.
What were some of the things when you first started seeing what our dear friend Bob Price shared with you, right? And again, thank you, Bob. He's in California as we speak, working with the event.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they're down there.
Sonoma?
They are literally there right now.
Yeah, where we passed
Yes.
in the air.
Yeah,
somewhere.
right.
Yeah.
We're here having this conversation.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
best of wishes to them and their work
Absolutely.
down there. But when he shared that stuff with you and your experiences, what come up for you?
Well, I think, more than anything, and Bob and I go back a long way, even back to our work in Ethiopia together,
Right.
that I think about. And so when I think about something like cognition, it sounds like this heavy brick that lands. It's really about culture. It's about how we perceive the world, I think, and how we engage with it and our openness to it. Whether it's in Ethiopia or where I started in Oakland, California, in Berkeley, or what's going on now here in Minnesota, it's about how do you engage people in a very authentic way and be open to how they think and even ask that question. Not what are you thinking, but how are you thinking? And that's a real driver for me to just opening up conversations.
How are you thinking?
Welcome to Behind the Curtain with our friend Rev.
All right, so as we get behind the curtain this time, we've been talking about the frame of reference. Critically important, and I'm not going to go back to that, but that's setting us up for looking more into this concept of participatory consciousness. Through our frame of reference, we need to know our frame of reference so that we can participate in consciousness development. Meaning, how are we generating shared meaning and importance, right? This ideas of coherent movement of thought. What thoughts do we need to get really solid on and move forward? What judgments about ourselves and others and assumptions do we need to suspend, right? Ultimately, that leads us to the opportunity through doing that to focus on a common content and agenda area. So we are pressing on you to understand your frame of reference so that you can participate in consciousness development. How are you thinking?
Yeah, it's too easy to say, what are you thinking about this? Like, we have great, opinion writers. This is what I think, but how are you approaching it? What's your frame of reference? We were just talking about this driving over.
Right.
What's your frame of reference when you've been thinking about it? So it's too easy, and in education, because traditionally in modern education, let's say when there were attempts to actually educate every child, it's a lot about the what. What do you know? Get the content. What's the assessment? Get that all laid out. And we don't engage students in the how. How is it they're thinking about it? And to me, that's a real cut point.
Hey, wow. We just made it through 1 to 6 with David. I want to remind you, all these tools that you've seen, you can go to our website. Jason will put it up there. At least the tools that have been given to me are available for you as a practitioner to use in your direct application. You can download those things there. And there's an opportunity even to get at least one free credit hour through the website if you want check out more there. You can learn and connect with Dan Ureco. She'll be more than glad to help you with that, as well as many other professional development opportunities. I think there's even a whole new suite that might be offered just with this. So go ahead and learn more from those folks. Thanks again for your engagement. Please share this with others as we purposefully become clear together in our pedagogy. Wadu.
Welcome to the Producer's Corner. It's me again, Jason. This episode has been just the intro to what David and Rev talked about, and it goes so much deeper. And I'm excited to hear the rest. I'm putting these together kind of in sequential order, and it's been a little bit since we recorded it, so I forgot what they all said. So I'm kind of relearning the material as well, but cognition is something that we hope for. Teachers, we want the kids to be able to critically think, to dive into their own minds and bring in their own cultures. I mean, everything they're talking about makes sense. And when you understand your own frame of reference, it is easier for you to show off the artwork in the middle. So, Producer's Corner, got to do my thing. Here's the part where I show you some things, like our website. Let me check. And like our emails. So there's mine. I'll put Rev's over here. Contact us. Let us know if you need anything. We are here for you. The next 5 episodes are going to be worth your time. Enjoy. Get revved up.
I am all revved up. The legislative session just started, and I had a chance to watch one of the live hearings. In there, I saw people with voice, powerful voice, and I saw our state being led by women who knew how to bring the heat. I love our legislators that stood in their purpose. Thank you so very much for being who you are. And guess what? In the background, there's a picture of our own Nan Ureco. Heck yeah, Nan, I am all fired up that you're part of this leadership and what it looks like for Minnesota to be a better place.